thank you for giving me Rule 63 the Harl here with the unzipped bodysuit. Is there any other character in the pastiche there? Like, does the guy belong to somebody, or is that just... Who knows?
What's this? A cry for help?
But, yeah, this is about the sort of thing you're missing. Just scenes like this. Hours and hours of scenes like this. Unbroken. Unending. Back to back. Every once in a while, you know, here's some optional dungeons you can wander through in like 3 minutes and clear out. Otherwise, you're just watching this. And periodically, of course, you have to go through a cave to one of the other continents, which somewhere in here I'm going to show. Unless I accidentally edit it out for time. But yeah, you just go into this menu, hit everything that says new, watch it, avoid stabbing yourself in the ears, move on. Oh yeah, here we go. So you go in there, you pick the continent you want to go to, you go into the dungeon to get to it, and here's that same cave again. You remember that same cave, right? I don't know why it takes so long to load it. It should always be ready in memory. We're using it so much. Here we go. Here's the cave. Pretty straightforward. You just run through it. You'll get in like 1 or 2 fights. The very first time you go through and you're going for the treasure chest, you might get in like 5. Speaking of which, I think I started to mention this before, but yeah, there's the one secret treasure chest in every dungeon with something halfway useful, maybe. And then there's like 2 or 3 just more healing items that you get from everything. And yeah, watch how quickly I get through this fight. Boom. Boom. And this is if you don't skip the cutscenes. Boom. That one's dead. Boom. 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 That one's dead. And this is before I got a better weapon. I have a laser bamboo sword now. That really kills stuff quick. And, you know, 1 every 3 fights ends with panty shot. Just so you know, ESRB, you dropped the ball on that one. Plus, there's these vile still images with the jiggle physics. So yeah, you run through the cave. It's that short. I didn't cut away or anything on that one. The long black load screen, that was them. So is this one. Then we get to the other side of it. You actually get this nice little, I can't really complain about it, transition scene to the new continent. This is the one for going back to Sega Land. I'll probably record the other 3 later on, just in case you're curious, because, you know, we can't have you, like, wondering if there's anything in this game you didn't get to see worth seeing, and make the mistake of playing it yourself. I mean, that's what I'm doing this for, people. I'm taking the bullet on this one, so none of you have to. Just, if you ever see this game in, like, a clearance bin for free, leave it there. It's there for a reason. It's awful. It really is just awful. In every way imaginable. So, yeah, that's how that works. I'm actually using an FAQ to get through with the minimum amount of traveling, just because I'm trying to get this game over as quickly as possible. If you aren't, though, you're constantly going to have to be bouncing between all 4 continents looking for where the plot hasn't dried up, or where the stream of cutscenes that make no relevance, they suck. The stream of cutscenes that are totally irrelevant to everything and take 5 minutes of your time listening to boob jokes, or attempts at boob jokes. But yeah, I'm cutting back on those and just, you know, getting through it as quickly as I can. I have to watch all these cutscenes. I showed you how many there were so far, right? And I think that was only like 20% of the total of the game. At this point, I'm a quarter of the way through, apparently, going by the percentages. I still have found no plot. You'll actually notice, like I said, when you first start the game, and you go to save it, it has that whole thing that RPGs do where, okay, it says tutorial dungeon, because that's where you are.
No.
Then you get out of there, and you get to the first action in the game, and the little how far in the plot thing changes to the first dungeon. And then you get out of there, and you get this little side quest to go to all continents and find little key fragments. And, you know, you have finding the key fragments. And, that's what I still have. It's been find the key fragments for the last 20 hours. And, you know, I've only been on the one continent so far looking for it, the first one, which I still don't have. I assume I'm going to put the same amount of time in on the other two, so it looks like 90% of the game is just finding the key fragments, with no actual plot of any kind, just random side quests that you don't actually have to go on, just hear about, and random optional dungeons with no relevance to anything that are just to get experience and items in. But every so often, you have to fight PlayStation 3 here. I skipped past all the combat in the first one of these fights. This one I'm actually showing it to you. So far I had to fight her 3 times. There's been no context for it any of these 3 times. It's just, whatever, let's fight one of the other characters for padding's sake. And with all of these fights, they keep refusing to show her name, despite the fact that, you know, she's on the box. She's in the intro. She's in the instructions. He's in the attract mode. There's conversations between her and other NPCs. None of these make any effort to hide who this is, and it's fairly obvious that she's just like the main character. Why are you making it a big secret who it is? Anyway, yeah, here's the actual full transformation sequence, which, if I was playing the Japanese version of this game, I would have to watch every single time I did it. As is, I've, like, stopped doing this in most fights just because it takes too long to skip it. It has to spend 3 seconds loading the movie, which I skip immediately, and then another 3 seconds coming back, just to play. You also notice I have some little red thing on my head. The most common thing you find in dungeons is new accessories for your magical girl transformation sequences. The thing of it is, though, they don't get better. All of them are trade-offs of one stat for another. And it's not even regular stats, it's the special stats for this form, which derive changes to your regular stats, just as another unnecessary step in there. And they're all like processor speed, heat, and memory or something like that, which all affect a different pair of regular stats. But who cares? It shows you these stat changes at the end, and it's just pointless. Anyway, though, most of them really suck. Most of them, it's like, drop all your stats for a bonus to damage with this element. I found a couple things which actually either increase your base damage by a bit for melee attacks, which I'll go ahead and take those, or they increase the speed of your character, which in theory makes you get your turns more often, and I eventually will, if a fight lasts long enough, start, you know, going before and after the boss, which, well, you know what I mean, get 2 turns before they get 1. Yeah, all the attacks take forever, too, if you don't skip them. I think eventually, even just, like, determined to not skip anything in this fight, I start skipping attacks like crazy. But yeah, you get your little decorative doodads. Most of them you never want to use, though, because you're better off with your basic stats, because they, like, increase the caster stats for a melee character. Never want to do that. Thank you very much. I guess if you really like this game and you wanted to try, like, playing through with Neptune as a mage, you could alter her stats to work that way and then start using those attacks that I'm ignoring. But the best attacks she gets are still going to be all weapon-based. And here's the whole guard break thing, which is totally undocumented, aside from that one tutorial at the beginning that explains Jack's squat. Here's how I think it works, though. Things have their HP meter, and then they have a little guard meter. When you attack, the longer the guard meter is, the less damage you do to their HP. The guard meter takes amounts of damage based on how many times you hit them. Lots of attacks will hit like multiple times, which normally does nothing because the total attack power gets divided by the number of hits. But if you have a multiple hit attack, or you have something that like targets an elemental weakness, it drops the guard meter by that much more. Like, comp here is always in the back row shooting, so I can usually figure out what they're weak to and spam shots out like crazy. And also she has a weapon that has like an attack power of 10 instead of an attack power of like 2000, so she does no damage. So you'll notice when she's fighting, their HP like barely changes, but I'm shredding the heck out of their guard meter. So if you get the guard meter either really low or empty, you do more damage to them. Once it empties out, they go into this, guard crush mode, and it starts refilling back to full. If they get a turn while it's refilling, they do extra damage. If you attack them while they're like that, well, when you first break it, you get extra AP to just continue smacking them around like crazy. But yeah, the idea is you just like bring them down with Compa by, shooting their little guard down. Switch over to Neptune, who usually goes next, and then she just like murders them with some big huge attack that works better with low defense. But again, you don't need that much strategy. You can just wham any button and win every fight. You never really take damage. It's still like a mechanic, which had some thought put into it, so I'm kind of impressed. Everything in this game, this is a total waste of time. But again, you have those heal skills that you have no reason not to bring them up because they're on their own system of points. They use the basically infinite healing items you get after every fight, and they don't take your turn. They just trigger and go off and you get healed. Good for you. And, this whole fight here is no context for it at all. It's just, I ran out of plot, which had no bearing on anything. I went to the Explore menu. Oh, hey, some special event. Oh, hey, it's a boss fight. Again, with someone I already fought before, just a little while ago. And I will fight again after I do some more stuff. But yeah, it's not even a game. It's like a pile of stuff that could be maybe used to make a game, but the game could be used to make it. It's horrible. No one would want to play it. In the right mind, anyway. So, let's see, what else do I have to show you after this? I have to show you how long it takes to save it. Because, again, the save files are huge, because you can customize all those moves. Let's see, I think I was going to just... Oh, yeah. Let's actually progress the plot a little bit after that fight. Because there's going to be some like major aftermath. Oh no, you're still talking to this person in the shop here.
I can't let myself get my hopes up if it's not true. Oh please,
but yeah, again, like, I'm not going out of my way to show you bad plot scenes. It gets so much worse than what you're seeing here. I'm showing off like the cream of the crop, where things are actually like attempting to be funny and move some irrelevant side plot along, and making their sort of video game jokes, which they're always so weirdly coy with too. There's this whole thing that I've just finished dealing with, where there's this little kid talking about wanting to buy a PlayStation 3, and it's the only system this is on, and it's kind of a commercial for it, but they refuse to say it by name. They just talk about, like, the third generation video game console. I had the first, but it couldn't play movies, so I had to get the second.
But that was only decided on this year.
And now I have to get the third. It's the most powerful. Wow, that sounds really great.
No. What if they're the ones who forced the decision?
Of course, nobody's actually saying this because it's one of the ones where they couldn't be bothered to dub it, and it's just silent stares from everyone. They just like couldn't get a little kid who could do voice work for this game, or the usual, middle-aged woman who pretends to be a little boy, which.